everyone. Sorry, Anne. Hi. Sorry, I'm late. So, no, you don't have to join anything to see this. And I'm sorry that I'm about 5 minutes late going live. But here we are. And today is day 3 of the Make It to Break live stream series. So, on this live stream series, what we're talking about is making it to the semester break with more ease. And kind of the tagline is make it to break without freaking out or burning out. And this live stream series kind of came to me while I was driving in the car with the kids the other day, and I was thinking about the fact that last semester I really did have a pretty hard time getting to the end of the semester and had to take some decisive action to make sure that I didn't freak out or burn out. I felt really close to burning out, and I wrote a blog post about that, which you can find. I can also drop it in the comments. But basically, the idea is that there are things that you can do to care for yourself and make sure that you don't get to that point where you feel like you're going to have a breakdown, or where you actually have a breakdown, which definitely happens. The other thing to kind of think about here is that one of the big ideas I want you to take away from this Make It to Break challenge is that semesters ebb and flow, and there are times in the semester when things get it's kind of like regular times in the semester where things get, more difficult. And so many of us, if we're on a 15-week fall-spring schedule, that time is now. So that's what we're talking about this week, is strategies to make it to the end of the semester with more ease and feeling more calm. So this live stream series is brought to you by the Academic Women's Writing Collective. You can find out more at the link below my face, which is bit.ly/AW Writing Collective. That's for Academic Women's Writing Collective. And that is my membership program. Hi, Olga. For academic women, where we talk about writing more and actually get more writing done because we get together and write. It's really both professional development in monthly training sessions and workshops and group coaching, and also community and kind of your own built-in writing group. Hi, Anke. It's nice to see you. All right, so today's topic. Hi, Brianna. Oh, it's been a long time. Okay, Brianna, I'm glad to see you. I think about you a lot. Okay, so today's topic is taming your to-do list. So your to-do list is probably a mile long at this point. So here I want to talk a little bit about how to manage your to-do list between now and the end of the semester. And you can go ahead and feel free to pop in comments, questions into the comments, and I will answer them. So the first thing I want to say is that, have you ever found an old to-do list and realized that there's a lot of things on there that you actually never did? Okay, so maybe even you want to kind of go back in your planner and take a look at kind of a to-do list where some of the things didn't get done. And I want you to note that you're still standing and things are still okay. So I want to kind of make it one of the big ideas today is that there are things on your to-do list that will never get done. And that's okay. It's okay that you put them on there to begin with. It's okay that they're not going to get done. It's fine. There are things on the list that will never get done. And so I'm going to give you like an alternative strategy for managing the list. Okay. So a couple of things. When you're looking at your big list of things to do, I want you to really think about whether you have to do this thing before the end of the semester or not. if you don't have to do the thing before the end of the semester, I would really love for you to just take it off your to-do list for now and put it in kind of like a holding area. Like maybe you have a larger kind of to-do list somewhere, or you can write it on your calendar for January or February. I want you to give yourself permission to not do that thing. And so in doing that, you're going to tame your to-do list a little bit, right? You're going to back down the things on the list. So I want you to really look and think about what is it that you really don't have to do before the end of the semester? What can wait? Because at this point, between now and winter break, I want you to think of yourself as in kind of like survival mode. It really is like, what do we need to do to complete the requirements of the semester and to finish and start anew? So that's what you want to look at your to-do list with an eye for. Brianna wrote, I've started writing a tiny book. Yay! So I can track how much I do and don't do in a week. That's nice. And date it each day. It's great as I can now see where things are just too big and haven't been broken down enough, but it also helps to affirm that I do a lot of things in a day. Yes, absolutely. That's a great plan, kind of tracking, right, of all the things you're doing. Becky says, I have a someday maybe to-do list for items so I don't lose those ideas. Yes, absolutely. Like what I do is like, I have kind of like a big task list, like a bucket where like a holding area for tasks and for to-dos. And so sometimes I put the things there. But then also like I really try to think like, here, this thing is on my list. Is it going to happen this semester? If it's not, I write it onto January or I write it onto February. So in my planner, I'm actually like, okay, this is something that doesn't have to be done now. And I know that in January and February, I have a lot more mental space for these things. So I'm writing it into the calendar on those days. And sometimes I just use the margin on the side, or I use the blank space at the top for writing, stuff to like think about it then. Because everything that's on your to-do list is taking up mental space and therefore some amount of energy from you until it's done. Okay. So this is again from that book Finish by John Acuff that I mentioned on the first, on Monday. Undone tasks. Okay. So not completed tasks actually take up more mental space than completed tasks. So Brianna's idea of like kind of keeping a running list of things that got done, one of the kind of flip benefits of that is, like she said, like she can see that she gets a lot of things done and that's really important because what happens is we get something done, we check it off the list, and then it's like out of our mental space, which is fine, except that what remains are the undone things. And then we're telling ourselves in our head, we never get enough done. There's not enough time for things. The to-do list is too long, when you don't take that time to like really appreciate the things that you have done because they've got checked off and they got, moved out of your mental space. So it's very important to slim down the to-do list because if not, it's holding on to a lot of brain space, and also to review every once in a while those things that you did get done. So I want to give you a strategy for managing your to-do list between now and the end of the semester. But first, I want to remind you about the Academic Women's Writing Collective. We are open for new members. And so if you are looking for someplace to write together with people, if you're looking to enrich your writing experience and really get professional development about your writing and your academic life, that feels more like focused on you, because the ideas for all the workshops that happen in the collective come from the community itself. If you're looking for that kind of love and care for your writing, and for yourself really, then I really encourage you to click through and check out the Academic Women's Writing Collective. We have 135 members, and there are room for more. So there's room for more. So please do check it out. Okay, so here's the strategy that I'm going to give you. It's the big three strategy. So what you want to do is every day, so like just from now until the end of the semester, I want you to try this out. So if you're keeping like a long list on the side of your planner, actually, is my planner, did I just like come in and dump? I did, here it is. So I literally like drove up, dumped my stuff, turned on the computer to go live. So I use this planner called the Day Designer, and I have it linked up on my website so you can click through to see the one that I actually use. And I'm going to show you here what I like about it is, okay, don't freak out, is that on the side, it has a long to-do list. And then each day at the top, it gives you space to write today's top 3. Okay? So what I want you to do is adapt that today's top 3 method, which means you have a huge giant to-do list, and what you're going to do preferably at the end of each day, is choose 3 things that absolutely have to get done the next day and write them at the top of that day. Those are your big 3, okay? So, so they go from your main to-do list to the top 3 for the next day. The ideal thing is to do this at the end of the day. So Monday night, you pick your top 3 for Tuesday, and Tuesday night, you pick your top 3 for Wednesday, and so on like that. And Friday night, you pick your top 3 for Monday. And if you can check off those 3 things, then you can feel like I did my work for the day. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the size of tasks that go in the big 3. So these are tasks that have to be like you are able to get them done, like checked off the list in that day. So the task should not be write an article. The task should be, write 3 paragraphs to finish the conclusion, or edit the article, or check all the references, or whatever. Anne asks, is the to-do list everything or just writing research? Okay, this is a great question. My to-do list is everything. And what I did, because I don't want to hold on to all the to-dos in my head, so I have 2 systems. I have a paper system and I have Trello. Okay, so, and I have basically like a home base board in Trello that links up to all my writing projects and things that are underway. And when I have complicated tasks that are literally home related, like when we went to Italy and I was planning our trip, that has a board in Trello. Okay, so there's just like too many to-dos to fit along the side of this. What I do is I have like the main to-dos in Trello, and then I pull from there to write onto my week, kind of like this is more or less what I need to do this week. And this is actually a first attempt at a color coding system where I have different codes for home and research and different things. You could have service as one and writing as whatever. The idea is that like basically this week, here's the big list, or basically this month, here's the big list, and then you're pulling from that list. I'm duplicating to-dos, like definitely duplicating online in Trello and in the calendar. Here's why. I need to see the big picture, and so in Trello, I can't see the whole month, for example. Trello's not a calendar. Trello's a project management system. So I have all my projects in Trello. They have different boards. There's a lot of boards. And then I have my paper planner, and they work together. They don't work like it's like not like the perfectly fine-tuned system that never fails. It's just the system that I've kind of come to realize that works best for me. So like I need to have something on paper, and then I need to have Trello where like I'm doing like project management style type planning. So Brianna says, "Oh, I was struggling with Trello as I was trying to use it for long-term and daily tasks." Yeah, so I mean, again, like Trello is super flexible, so you totally could do it for daily tasks. And in that Trello workshop that I have, it gives you some options for that. Actually, like a little sneak peek is that I'm developing for January a whole course called Organize Your Academic Life, and it's Trello based, where like it will get into organizing like seriously all your projects in Trello and but with the core of that course being about how you organize things no matter what the tool you use is. So whether you use Trello or something else, but that the core lessons are all going to be about how you organize these many aspects of your academic life. And then I'm going to show you how to do it in Trello and give you all the boards so you could just like adopt the system. That's a little sneak peek, but any of something I've been working on for a while. Anyway, the big idea here is kind of like having a big three. So even if all you do is like you don't have a paper planner and you do use Trello or Asana or whatever other kind of project management system you have, and you go in there and just the night before you pick 3 things that you're going to have on a sticky note. I mean, another way to do it, right? Write your 3 things on a sticky note and stick them on the side of your computer. And those are your 3 things for the next day. And this is like, you can use this system all year, but I really like it for these times of the semester when you're like, holy crap, there's just too much going on. When you can just focus on 3 things and pat yourself on the back for 3 things, I think that is like, to me, has been a very helpful way to just chip away at the most important tasks until the end of the semester. Having said that, there are things that won't get done. Okay, there are things that will never make it into your top 3. And so they won't ever get done this semester. And they might never ever get done. And this is an indication that you didn't really have to do them. Okay, so if you are looking for evidence of this, go back and find an old to-do list and see if you actually finished 100% of it. Okay, and I'm going to guess that you find an old to-do list and that there's at least 1 or 2 things on that old to-do list that did not get done, and you still have your job and you're still alive and you're still fine. So understand that you have my permission to let go of some of the things on your to-do list. So if you have any other questions, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to sum up where we've come so far in this live series, but go ahead and pop any more questions you have in the comments. But let's see if I can remember the days of this challenge. So the first day we talked about lowering the bar. Okay, so you can find all the videos for this 5-day live stream series on my page here. So you can scroll down and see them. And they're also all posted in the I Should Be Writing Facebook group as well. And if you signed up for the challenge, then you are getting emails with the replay links. But basically day 1, we talked about lowering the bar and halving your goals. And this is an idea that comes from Finish by John Acuff that's has a lot of these same kind of things at the core, which is, undone things are taking up a lot of mental space and making you feel guilty and overwhelmed. So we want to just half the amount of things that we're expecting ourselves to do. So the first one is lower the bar. And I'm also encouraging you to lower the bar in quality on some of the things that you're doing, understanding that you are good enough. And so even when you do something that you think you're not doing up to your highest standards, it's still pretty darn good. So that was day 1. What was yesterday? What did we talk about yesterday? Yesterday, we talked about don't play the the game where you look, oh, the comparison game. So yesterday we talked about don't play the comparison game, don't compare yourself and see like, oh, she seems like she's doing totally fine, because you do not know what's going on behind the scenes. The same is if you look at like super productive scholars in your field and you go like, oh, they look, but they're doing it all, so why can't I do it all? You don't know their situation, so don't play the comparison game because you'll lose. So go check out that video if you have been comparing yourself to other people unnecessarily. And of course, today, tame your to-do list, let go of things that will never get done. They didn't really need to get done anyway, and choose your top 3. So Liz says, I've been using the 3 things idea and I really like it because my longer to-do list is filled with things that may never get done, but getting 3 things done is much more manageable. Just couldn't have said it better myself, Liz. That's exactly right. So thank you everyone for joining me. Tomorrow we are back here at the same time at 11 Eastern, which is noon my time, for the 4th day of this Make It to Break live series. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow as well. And check out the Academic Women's Writing Collective. If you like the kinds of things I've been talking about, if you like my style and my approach to writing and publishing more, then the collective is the place for you to be. Enrollment is open right now, so you can go ahead and sign up and you will be all set out. Oh, you want to sign up this month, and I'll tell you why. Because next week we are having our monthly workshop, and it's all about writing the lit review. So those questions like, how do I know when to stop reading, and how do I know when enough's enough, and what if I want to write something and I realize I have to cover a whole other field of literature that I'm not super familiar with. We're answering all those questions in the workshop this month. And then December's workshop is all about planning out 2019. I'm going to have members of the collective choose their word of the year. We're going to map out the whole year. And there's going to be a really great handout for that for that workshop. So if you're interested in those, you want to make sure you join the Academic Women's Writing Collective now. There's no reason to wait until January or anything. It's not very expensive. It costs $29 a month. So it's, a really good investment in yourself. And it's not super expensive. And it's priced that way deliberately. Most academic coaches that you see out there will charge you between $50 and $100 for a workshop. And I do one a month in there. Plus you get all this other awesomeness, which you can check out at the link right here. All of that you get for $29 a month, which is like really a steal, because the point is to be able to really be a member of the community and make it last long term. You want to be what the idea behind the Academic Women's Writing Collective is, that writing and publishing is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay? And also that academia can be super soul-sucking and awful, and it doesn't have to be. And we're filling this collective with women who see it as something, academia as something where we can be supportive of each other. We can celebrate with each other our wins. We can commiserate with each other when we get a bad review. And it's all totally okay. And there's nothing at stake because these people are not in your department, right? They are all over the world in different places. So go ahead to the link, check it out, and I will see you here tomorrow at 11 Eastern. Have a great day. Bye.